Today I just want to share a funny story from one of my Henley races in 2021 where effectively, this is very immature humor as well, okay? Effectively, I got Henley to write poo. But yeah, anyways, here is the story. I'll start off by showing you something. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to spot what happens here, but this is me in the double in 2021 with Will Fletcher. This is the one and only race we did in the event, but something was amiss here. In every race at Henley, they start by having the names come up at the top of the screen. And if you watch every race at Henley, they always have these names come up with the initials, and in the singles, in the doubles, and in the pairs, they have the names. In the fours and quads and eights and bigger, they have the just the cruise name. So it's the only time really you get to see your name when you're doing the small boats at Henley. But for some reason, I don't know why, but they didn't have my name come up here, which is wasn't my plan. But anyways, at some point down the race, I think it was like here. They eventually, and just ignore this lead, okay, it was a headwind, we weren't, yeah. My name comes up here, but this is wrong. This isn't what I wrote on the entry. But anyways, ever since I raced Henley, well, for those that don't know anything about Henley, often people kind of try and do silly things with it, or they try and what was it that people always do on people's bios? You can get like your crewmates to write your bios and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes when people weigh in, for example, you know, they try and eat as much food and like drink a bunch of water so they can be as heavy as possible on the scales when they weigh in. I don't think they do the weighing in anymore. I hope they don't, to be honest. But anyways, people kind of always try and find ways. People are always stealing chairs from stewards and stuff like that. I know quite a few people at nighttime, they swim. They swim. Oh, I'll show you. They swim kind of across the river because it's all security guards around here at nighttime. They'll swim over, grab a chair, and swim back across. Don't you get any ideas if you're watching this? Anyways, I always thought it would be quite funny to try and write some sort of name in your initials in your display on like when the sheet comes up. So this is why here, and it didn't go to plan because this was the name that I used that I wrote on the list last time: Jack William Massey Burns. And at the moment, this is my name. Yeah, so for those that don't know, Jobby is a Scottish word, and it means poo, basically. There's and yeah, if you go into Urban Dictionary, Google won't work. Google won't give you the right answer, but Jobby, Scottish slang for shite, says quite possibly the funnest word ever named. So yeah, the game I was playing though is basically how can I get that word into this name here, and obviously it didn't work, or so it would appear. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting I need to change the camera. I didn't even. Oh shit! Right, this is Jobby, Scottish slang. Yeah, there you go. It's on Urban Dictionary. Look it up. But yeah, I obviously failed to get my name Jobby written in here with the initials. Now, first off, obviously, you can't do change your initials so that it's Jobby. That would be too obvious. So my first strategy was I'm going to do Jobby because it's enough to actually be a word, but it's not enough to arouse suspicion, or so it would seem. So I came up with Jobby. When I wrote in Henley, I wrote my full name. I wrote Jack Oscar Brian Young Burns, which is a stretch. But anyways, the English people at Henley Royal Regatta didn't recognize anything. And the funny thing is that actually it was coming up in the results, and it's still here. So I wonder if Henley is going to remove this. But you can see, yes, Joby Burns. So I got it there. I just didn't get on the TV. But anyways, this is still a result. Who knows? They might take this down afterwards. So, I'm gonna screenshot it actually. There we go. Got it. And then also, if you look in the results here, they forgot to change it on the YouTube video as well. So they got Joby Burns. Yeah, a bit of a funny story as to how this got found out. So the week or two before the race, people start showing up at the regatta, and I was training out of Leander at this time in England, and I was walking along the bank, and then one of the Scottish coaches that came down, he was chatting to one of the Leander coaches, and as I walked past the Scottish coach, he was like, haha, Joby Burns, I saw your name, that's funny, ah ha ha, Joby Burns, very funny. And then the English coach beside him was like, Joby, what is that, what are you talking about, what's so funny about that? And I was like, dude, shh. But anyways, then that Leander coach went and spoke to his wife, who actually turned out to be Scottish, and told his wife, and then his wife started laughing. But still, so it was about a week, and I was like trying to keep it on the down low because obviously I wanted to get it on there. But anyways, got close to the event. Scottish people who knew and stuff like that. Like normally, from your home club, you go and look at who's racing. You have a look through the list, and people would see my name and come up to be like, ha ha ha. But slowly, the word started to spread, and to the point where apparently, just before my race was about to go. So like this is what I heard. This is what I heard someone say. Literally like right around here when I was sat on the start line, someone like had ran down to like this box here. I don't know if it was here or it was maybe like, somewhere in the HQ or whatever. And they were like, stop. And they actually changed my name last minute, and they were like panicking, scrambling last minute. Also, I'm pretty sure I know who it was. You're a square. Like, come on, that is some harmless fun. It wasn't a swear word. It's a stretch of a swear word. A bit of fun. The person's like young as well. I'm pretty sure that did it. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Anyways, they changed it last minute, and the only kind of imprint I was able to make on Henley was obviously in the results, and then also in the description of the YouTube video. But I'm the only person to not have my name come up in the start of the race. If you look at any other race, as I said before, they normally have it come up right at the start, whereas with me, this is my this is the anarchism in me. Is that a word, anarchism? Anyways. There we go. That was my name from the year before. They looked up my name from the year. Well, it wasn't the year before because it was COVID that year, but 2019. But yeah, there's a funny story for you. Just me being silly, having a bit of fun. I do love Henley, so maybe I'm taking the piss a little bit too much. I do think it's a great event, and they do a great job broadcasting and everything, but rowing's a boring sport, let's be honest. I mean, I love it. I love coaching it. I love doing it. But we got to draw more people into it, and that was my attempt anyways. So the only other way I can do this is by legally changing my name to Jack Oscar Brian Young Burns, and then that's the first part, and then the second part is friggin' getting a boat qualified in a single, a double, or a pair, which would require a lot of training. And at the moment, I'm not gonna commit to some hard training just to enter into a race and have Joby Burns come up. But anyways, there we go. Silly little story, totally different from the content that we usually share, but I thought it was kind of too funny not to share, at least in my head anyway. So, bye!